Benny, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome, no worries.
It's been a pretty massive 12 months in your life.
Yep.
What's been the best part about it?
Probably finishing X Factor, to be honest, because that was pretty intense. Not a normal 23-year-old's day-to-day life, for sure. And just getting back into songwriting. Yeah, so it's been pretty eventful.
X Factor must have been a pretty amazing experience to be part of a show like that and to do so well in it. Was it anything like you would have expected when you entered?
No, I didn't think I'd get to where I got. Like, I was going to walk away from my pre-audition because you go up, and I pulled up in the car and I had my little guitar and I was like, oh, I'll just warm up. And then all these people started walking past and they all sounded like angels, and I was like, man, I'm just a songwriter, I'm not going to get far. And then I got a maybe, and then they called me and they said, yep. And then it just sort of went on from that. And every week was like, oh, I can either go home and see my friends this week or stay on longer and have fun.
And was it fun? You enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was really good, yeah. It wasn't fun living in Sky City for 12 months because, I mean, the first like three days were cool. And then after that, room service got a bit boring, so I spent most of my time down at the pub, drinking a beer, having a pie, eating sandwiches, going to Subway, seeing people, taking photos. Yeah.
Cool.
That was it, pretty much.
With the, I guess, performing on TV side of things, was it weird being judged?
Yeah, it was, because music should never be a competition in the first place, so it was a bit bizarre. And then some of their comments were a bit, you know, completely left centre, like they come from absolutely anywhere. And it's a bit degrading when you put a lot of effort and a lot of emotion into a song and then it just takes somebody to be like, oh, well, your pitch was a bit under. And then it just like, and then everyone's like, oh yeah, it was under. And then you just, all these people will start saying your performance was bad, but then music shouldn't be judged at all. So that was bizarre.
What was the hardest part about the X Factor experience?
Probably being away from family and friends and having a normal lifestyle, because I remember the first night it played, because I'd been doing X Factor for 3 months before it had been on TV, and then as soon as it went on TV, everything's just started kicking in. Like the Facebook page went over 1,000, and I'd been trying to get it to 500 for like 3 months. I was like, come on, I want to watch it tick over. And then I was watching X Factor, I was like, oh, that was kind of cool. And then I went on, I was like, oh, how many fans have I got? And then I went on, it was over 1,000. I was like, man, I missed the 500 mark, which was like the most important one for me. But now it's like 51,000, which is good. And yeah, I guess there were some good points, there were some bad points, and it was just a different kind of lifestyle, really.
Talking about Facebook, do you see social media as quite important in terms of what you do now with trying to get your music out there and post X Factor your career?
Definitely. While I was on the show, it was a good way to communicate with people at home and watching the show and stuff, because you know that people would be on social media checking updates from the contestants and stuff. So instead of being serious, I decided to do puns, just to sort of take the mickey out of the competition a bit. And then, yeah, I think it's really vital because people love your music, and to give them another part of yourself is to have them see what you see, I guess, or, you know, read what you say. And, you know, it's just like anybody else having Twitter or Instagram. You know, I'm just a normal human being, so it's like just made up by media that I'm sitting on this couch and all of that sort of stuff, you know. But it is a very important part. Like, so many kids are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and it's such a good way to get your music out there.
You said that, well, it sounds like from what you were expecting going into the TV show, from auditioning for it in the first place, that you went a lot further than you would have expected yourself to do.
Yeah.
From my perspective, just a lot of the people I'm friends with, and I would see Facebook posts and tweets about X Factor, you know, everybody watches at the same time and then post things on social media about it. A lot of people that are, I guess, my circles online were expecting you to win. Did you feel pressure?
A little bit. Like, my family got real involved. Like, got to the point where my mum and my dad were like, this is the best thing that is happening for us right now. You've got to win, you know, bring home the car and stuff like that. And it'd be nice to see you in the papers all the time and all of that. But not really. Like, my family was really good with me, and my friends were the best. Like, they're all humble guys and they had my back, and you know, they said whatever happens, happens. And I guess what I really wanted from the show was exposure, and I sort of nailed that, like, by getting to the very last episode. And to not come first was like, I would have more creative control over my songs, and I could take my time with releasing music, whereas the winners have like deadlines and stuff like that. And there's still deadlines in the music industry, but it made more sense for me to come third.